We will explain what Easter means from a biblical Hebrew perspective, whereas the scriptures refer to as the wicked queen of heaven, Ashtoreth, whom the Babylonians call ISHTAR, and the book of Revelations referred to as the whore of Babylon. She was also highly respected by other cultures such as the Egyptians, who referred to her as Isis, and also by the Greeks and the Romans as Aphrodite or Venus, and is the actual origin of where the continent of Africa gets its name, such as the land of Aphrodite, or woman as God, or mother god references such as mother's land or the motherland. So it's that time of the year again when you offer your gold, your riches, and even your children to the pagan holidays which are not even mentioned in the scriptures. Yet by your own tradition you make the word of the Most High of no effect. So let us investigate what the Roman Catholic Christian Church teaches in their catechisms as far as Easter and the spring equinox and the importance of it. Easter is not simply one feast among others, but the feast of feasts, the solemnity of solemnities. Just as the Eucharist is the sacrament of sacraments, the great sacrament, St. Athanasius calls Easter the Great Sunday, and the Eastern churches call the Holy Week the Great Week. Easter observance was part of the decrees issued at the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD by Roman Emperor the First Pope Constantine the Great, declaring that Easter shall be observed by all the Roman provinces. Easter must fall on the first Sunday, day of Apollo, to follow the full moon day after the spring equinox, anywhere between the Roman calendar of Mars, which is March 22nd, and Aprilius, which is April, month of Aphrodite, day the 25th. This is why Easter falls on various dates throughout the centuries under Roman rule and influence. The character Ishtar was worshipped as the goddess of fertility, love, sex, and prostitution. As we mentioned before, she was called by many names: Astarte in Anna, Ashtoreth, Anat. She is known to the Semitic peoples as the wife of Baal, and as Isis by the Egyptians, wife of Set, Aphrodite to the conquering Greeks, and Venus by the Romans. And about that rabbit, the importance and symbolism of the rabbit is great among the ancient pagans and even today in mainstream secular society. Let's just look at the most successful porn company of all time. Its logo is a rabbit, Playboy magazine or company, and cartoons such as Roger Rabbit. The rabbit was admired for its fertility and sex drive, and its perverse nature of attempting to mate with different species of animals. Yet it is called an unclean animal in the scriptures. We can still see the respect the Egyptians showed to the rabbit in hieroglyphs, depictions along with human genitals. So it's only natural for children to learn the crafty, wicked ways of the pagans, one step leading to another. Another symbol of fertility is the egg, which are hidden, then give off a reward when they are found. This is also a significant tradition of the ancient pagans. The eggs were dyed in the blood of a sacrificial animal, then were offered to Ishtar in order to receive a blessing of fertile land or the ability to get pregnant. Here are some ancient artifacts found by archaeologists proving that eggs were an important part to pagan practice in ancient times. The story of Ishtar's myth began by stating that the moon goddess was born when the moon laid an egg which fell into the earth ocean. Then the moon goddess Ishtar was worshipped in human form of Semiramis, who was worshipped after the death of Nimrod in Babylon. She had a son called Tammuz, whom she claimed that the sun god Baal got her pregnant. The beginning of son and mother worship started in Babylon. In 1876, Rutherford B. Hayes, the President of the United States, opened the White House lawn for Easter egg festivities. We can see Roman Catholic influence is heavy in America since the majority of the founding fathers were influenced by the Roman Catholic authority. The Romans have contradicted everything the Hebrew scriptures state, from using yeast during the week of unleavened bread to the 40 days of Lent, which stand for the weeping for Tammuz, and even consuming unclean meats. Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 17 through 18. Do you not see what they are doing in the towns of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem? The children gather wood, and the fathers light the fire, and the women knead the dough and make cakes to offer to the Queen of Heaven. They pour out drink offerings to the other gods to arouse my anger. Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 13 through 15. Again he said, you will see them doing things that are even more detestable. Then he brought me to the entrance of the north gate of the house of the Almighty, and I saw women sitting there mourning the idol Tammuz. Revelation 17, verse 1 through 5. One of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls came and said to me, come, I will show you the punishment of the great prostitutes, who sits by many waters. With her the kings of the earth committed adultery, and the inhabitants of the earth were intoxicated with the wine of her adulteries. Then the angel carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness. There I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast that had covered with blasphemous names, and had 7 heads and 10 horns. The woman was dressed in purple and scarlet, and was glittering with gold, precious stones and pearls. She held a golden cup in her hand, filled with the abominable things and the filth of her adulteries. The name written on her forehead was a mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of prostitutes and of the abominations of the earth.